This cricket is louder than my stereo. Well, boys, I cut down them dang there engine mounts and I solved a lot of my problems. Oh, this guy says hood. I love this squeak, this incessant squeak when the hood is popped. Listen. Anywho, that's done. Ugh. There she is. Take a look. Take a look-see now. You want to hear the world's loudest cricket? Fire up your video camera, and you got crickets. So, all done, and made my mount much shorter. I dusted everything quick with white paint, and I'm gonna go build a quick flamethrower and kill this cricket. So I have good distance. I can still reach bolts in the back of this head. It might look tight. I have tons of room behind the intake. Everything is looking copacetic. I might even try to put the engine cover on. It has this intake cover to beautify, make it look almost like LS3, LS7. Let's see if that fits and then the hood closes. That would be instrumental. Awesome. Seriously. Where is that thing? All right, take two. So I started to shoot this and I shut off my camera about 10 seconds in and recorded a bunch, and none of it was there. Maybe some of you guys can understand how that goes. Anywho, we got the motor as low and as far back as it'll go. I will show you pictures of the pan. Right now the front of the pan is sitting on the steering rack, not the K member. So you can push it back. It has, you know, I have the motor mounts loose, so there's going to be a little bit of driveline angle. The only big issue is it hits the steering rack right about there. Doesn't hit it at the knuckle, doesn't hit it at the bolt. The bolt is actually past the manifold. It rubs right about center screen there. You can see the manifold is shoving the rack or the steering column slightly down. So probably just going to trim a little bit out of that manifold. I don't know how easy it'll be to move the rack piece, but either way, it barely touches it. Barely, not a huge deal. It was fine before I dropped the engine lower, of course. This manifold has a beautiful, easy amount of room, drops straight in. Lots of room underneath. I took pictures for that. Now the intake manifold easily sits on top of the engine and the hood closes. That's all very good. The oil pan is still above the K member by like a half an inch. Man, everything else is going really good. There isn't too much more. I think what I will do is build a... Oh, here's a good one. The Holley Hooker iron LT swap manifolds come with gaskets, bolts, and weld-on jobbies here. So you weld the exhaust to this, and you can put the bolts up through. The manifolds are threaded on the back end, so you put the bolt up through and call it a day. So I have the stock gaskets and stock bolts on these exhaust manifolds right now. Tons of room. I was wiggling the hell out of this one. I definitely heard one of the porcelains crack. I broke that number 5 or 7 or whatever back there for sure. I cracked one of them. So we're gonna need some plugs, but other than that, everything else is happy. What I might do is get a Harbor Freight, like a wheelie cart boy, and put the transmission on the cart and then put it underneath and then lower the car down onto the tranny. I've seen plenty of people do that recently, and I think that would be a great idea to get the tranny in. I do have I can borrow a tranny jack from Ackerman also. Might grab that also. It would be nice to see if the tranny fits, and if it does, build a mount. And then what I'd like to do is put it into this bay and start wiring everything and getting some other ancillary stuff out of the way. And I have nine vehicles right now, and I need to do maintenance on a bunch of them. So I would like to get them on the lift to do that. So we'll move this guy over and continue the wiring and everything else, which has a bunch of wiring. The battery stuff comes up front. I might just move some of this and redo a tiny bit of it. Other than that, everything else is done and good to go. So pretty much ready to fly. Start putting parts back into the car and the tranny and go from there.